they're on the wrong side of an 80-20 issue. And I'm not sure why they're doubling down on that, because all the polling I've seen has been massively against, for fairness in girls sports. I guess I'll put it that way. Right. And then also
Yeah.
for parental rights. So the parental rights issue they knew was a very popular issue, which is why they didn't want it to go on the ballot last November. That probably would have made the difference for me. Right. And so they adopted it and then gutted
Mm.
it the next session. Oh, that's not going over well with parents, because they believe that they have a constitutional right to the care, custody, and control of their children, and that government shouldn't interfere with that right without due process. There's got to be proof that they are neglectful or abusive, right? So this assumption that all parents are going to be abusive for children if they find out we're using different pronouns in class or different names in class, I don't think constitutional law supports that. So you can't just take away parental rights without due process like that.
Mm.
So
Uh,
unless
yeah.
and until a parent is deemed unfit is actually what constitutional precedent on that, and I think it's pretty clear.
How does that work for you being in the classroom, right? I mean, obviously,
Well,
there's
let me show you what my classroom looks like here. So I've got, it's a computer lab, right? And you
okay,
can see I've
yeah,
got all my industry certifications up against the
okay,
walls here. But you see that in the corner?
yeah,
That is a camera. And they
camera,
put that camera in my classroom when we were hybrid. Okay.
okay,
And so I've kept it going.
kept
And
it.
so my kids know that the camera's on all the time. Their parents could be watching, the principals
At
could
any
be
given
watching
time, parents could be
at any
watching
given time.
live.
So
Love
I
it.
have to bring my A game, and so do they. And so they're on good behavior. If they weren't paying attention, it's great because they can go back and watch the recording and just see the demo that they missed. If they were absent or maybe they're home sick, they can still
Yeah.
participate in class live as well as go review it later if they just want to, catch up on what they missed. And so this level of transparency I thought would be uncomfortable, but it was a conversation I had with some law enforcement officers when we were debating body cams when I was down in the legislature. I was like, really? You want to have your entire life subject to that kind of scrutiny? And they were like, no, you don't understand. 99+% of the time, it's going to back our side of the story.
Right,
And so just
right.
having that
Self-protection.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I also believe in the idea of having complete transparency into our public schools. Maybe I just got used to that being on the school board where we had the Open Public Meeting Act. And then in the legislature, everything we did on the floor, everything that we did in committee rooms were all broadcast on TVW. And so I feel like if I'm on the payroll of the public, that they deserve that kind of insight into the work that I'm doing on their behalf. And I think
Mm.
it should apply for public teachers as well.